This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Today, 2 more teams will exit the competition and 1 will move straight through to that grand finals. Hello everyone and welcome to day 4 of Game Changers Championship 2023, coming to you live from the Arena CBLOL in São Paulo, Brazil. I'm your host Yingsu and I am joined once again on the desk here by Sapphire and Baby Bay. Like I said, 2 more teams are going, but we're going to find out who's going to make the grand finals.
Yeah, the matches today are sick too, and it's stacked now. The competition now is stacked. We had some people eliminated already, but I'm so excited for these matches today.
Yeah, I don't know, it's been like the talk of the week. This is such an exciting moment. There's so many epic plays from these players. People are popping off. I cannot wait to see who is going to get into that grand finals today.
Yeah, especially if G2 do it, you know, the back-to-back, it's coming, But first, let's talk about what happened yesterday, because sadly, we did have to send 2 teams home. And that all started with Team Liquid versus EG. And Sapphire, Potter, we gotta listen to her. She knows what she's talking about.
She knew a thing, you know. She works with EG, so maybe she knew a thing. Yeah, predicting them to go 0-2. Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't EG's day, but I think especially the Brazilian crowd here loved to see Team Liquid finally win that match. They had a dominant performance to keep their run in the lower bracket alive.
Yeah, and EDG, it was close. They nearly could have taken that to a map 3.
Yeah, both teams that got eliminated honestly played way better yesterday than they did the first day. Like they honestly didn't get a chance to even play the game the first day they played, and I was really impressed with how they were able to bounce back. Even though they didn't get a win, it's something to look forward to for next year for these teams.
Yeah, it is indeed. And then the last game, I have no words. I would just like to issue an apology that I didn't realize Shopify's game. I wasn't familiar with your game. I'm sorry, but Baby Bay, it actually does feel like nobody can take this team down right now.
Yeah, and if this is a similar scoreline as any other games today, like they are, like who's gonna beat them? Who can actually beat this team if
who
they
can
roll
get more
G2?
than 4 rounds?
Yeah, who can get more than 4 rounds in a map against them? And that's so like weird to say because that does not happen in tournaments of this scale.
It does feel though that if it is going to be any team, G2 I think hopefully will give them a bit of a run today, though Shopify is looking pretty damn good.
That's the thing though, if G2 don't give him a run, I'm just gonna, I don't know how to even feel, you know, Shopify being this good, it is absolutely crazy. We love to see it. But before we get into today's matches, let's do something fun. I'm in the mood to win something. Yeah,
I'm gonna lose again, huh?
Yeah, yeah, why not? I'm in the mood to win. We are gonna play a little game of Lost in Translation. We picked up some Portuguese here. I don't know about you guys, you know, I've been dropping the obligada every now and then. And we're gonna show you guys some voice lines from some of the agents here in the game, in Portuguese, of course. And the 3 of us, we have to guess what the voice line is in English.
Okay.
You guys ready? All right, let's start with a Brumi with a Stimmy. Roll the clip.
Crianças, temos companhia. Quero todo mundo comportado.
Ooh. The thing is, you speak Spanish. Your Spanish is not bad.
I'm gonna go C. I don't know. I'm gonna go C here. I actually don't know. This is hard.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, he said the word todo, which is like you all. So so we're going for A or C. I assume home is similar to Spanish with casa, and I didn't hear that, so I'm also going C.
Oh my god, she's got the
You got a strat.
Yeah.
Okay, just for the sake of I'll go A. Let's see if any of us got it right. It's gonna be B now, isn't it?
I hope it's not.
I hope it's not as well. But I feel like after Heather's reasoning, it's probably gonna be C. Oh my goodness.
I'll take that.
Good job. Well done. Yeah.
I was finally right.
I feel like we're gonna have to let her. We're gonna have to let her go last because she's actually got the good strats, and I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat.
Facts.
Let's move on to the next one, and this is gonna be a neon. Yeah, roll the clip.
Eu já não
Listen
avisei.
carefully.
Mexe comigo não.
Can we do one more? One more time?
Are we able to do it one more time?
Ooh.
Eu já não avisei. Mexe comigo não.
Ooh. I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go A here.
It seems short, right?
Yeah,
It's too short for B. Given that Heather would definitely know the answer because she's got the strat down, I'm also gonna go A. Yeah. Sounds about right. What do you think, Satva?
My strat is just listening, and I think the first sentence sound like a question. Like she question. Answer. So I'm going with A.
Oh, three
I just listen to the tone.
All right, so let's see what the answer is. I'm hoping it's actually A now because I'm behind. Right?
Dude, we
nice.
How do we not know Portuguese?
Yeah.
We're like we're sick of it.
Yeah.
Heather is sick of this. You and I, we're just guessing. I mean, I don't know what we're doing.
You might be right.
She's got it down. So you guys are joined first still. I think this could be the tiebreaker.
Okay.
I'm going to make a rule that you guys can't pick the same one, and I'll let you buzz. I'll let you buzz to go first, all right? We'll do a boom. All right, let's roll the clip.
Dá tempo da gente tirar uma selfie antes de ir, né? É, rapidinho.
Oh, that was you, baby bae. You went first. You went A, okay.
He said selfie.
Heather, you can't
He
go
said
A.
selfie. I'm sorry.
You can't go A.
I'm sorry. But if I'm wrong, I look
Okay.
terrible. I thought he said selfie though.
I'll go with C because the first part was a question.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with B, just to shake it up. Let's see what it is. Yes, Trey. He's the winner.
Oh my god, I finally won.
You won something.
I needed redemption after that terrible
Unfair
guessing
rules.
game.
It's
where I
like
didn't even know what the capital of Brazil was. That was bad.
it's like 2020 all over again for you. Feels good, right? It feels good.
Yeah, it's been a while. I do feel good.
I don't know. I can't do you like that. Congratulations, Dre. Now we've got 2 more days left of the show, so maybe Sapphire, you can come back into the. You can come back.
So.
But for now, let's take a look at our current bracket because, like I said, 2 more teams. They will be eliminated today. Yesterday we spoke about how premature it would be for a team like TL to go out first. But we're getting to a point now, Heather, where either TL or BBL go out today. I think it's going to be a big shock.
Yeah, that's a bit unexpected in the sense of like a lot of people came in saying that BBL was a favorite, and we even teased that maybe the BBL Shopify was a teaser of the grand finals. It obviously doesn't necessarily look like that anymore.
And then they played.
Yeah.
And then they played, and Shopify did the same thing that they've been doing all year. Yeah, it's crazy, but that's going to be a banger matchup, and you know that the home crowd advantage is definitely going to play a part for Liquid. And they have the momentum. They won their last game. BBL lost in like such a bad fashion in their last game. So the tides might be turning here for Liquid to make a run.
Yeah, of course. As you guys just saw, that we do have 3 games coming to you today, and that last one is going to determine who's going to make the grand finals here in São Paulo. That brings us to today's MasterCard fan poll. I want to know which team you guys think will be the first to make that grand final. Hey, why not both? G2 or Shopify Rebellion. Scan the QR code here to cast your vote, and we will reveal the results in just a little bit. And do not forget to tweet at us using the hashtag VCT and VCT Game Changers so we can feature you on the show. But first, I feel like I want to hear from one of my favorite players here. It is Kahaibi from SMG, standing by with Mika Fabs. Oh, no, not standing by, but we will hear from Kahaibi.
G2 was like the previous champions and they played really well, but also we were like in a bad mental state, so we weren't really prepared for it, but we will do better in the future. I kind of feel a bit sad, but I guess it was a learning lesson for us, so it's all good. Like, we learned a lot from it, so I'm grateful for that, and we're gonna work harder. Yeah. I feel the biggest takeaway is to just be calm. Even when you're losing, you have to be calm, you have to do your job, and just trust all of your teammates, and everything will be fine.
The Viper has her orb to deny the B main push. Like, there's just so much against her right now. They're playing this crossfire, peek off me in spawn.
They're both so weak. They're both so weak. That's the first to fall. The second does too.
We really are like a family because we do everything together and we do trust each other. We are really close together outside of the game. So I feel just don't look at it as it's the last game if you lose. Like, it's not the lower bracket, but just play the game as how you will in the scrim and in the tournament. Like, just try your best and everything will be okay.
like she said, just try your best. Everything's going to be okay. And I feel like we have been seeing SMG at their best, but unfortunately, Sapphire, their win streak, the world record-holding win streak, it did unfortunately come to an end, but it almost didn't against G2.
It was so close. I believe they were 2 rounds away, and one of those rounds they just let it slip away. But it's okay. 36-0. That's pretty impressive. They made history.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a crazy streak, but you could even tell from the interview that she just did, they were feeling the pressure of when they did start losing. So now that they got the losing out the way, maybe this is something good for them, and they're just ready to dominate.
Yeah, and we saw that last year, right, with big favorites like then Cloud9. Like, they hadn't lost the match until they got into a big moment against a top team. So for them to do it a little earlier in the event, I think it's almost advantageous in a sense. And now, you know, it's a learning experience, and it's all up from here, hopefully.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a similar theme to some of the other teams, you know, mechanically, strategically, aim-wise, they're all there. But I think I'm a little bit curious too how they bounce back from this mentally, baby, because when you get that close into defeating a team like G2, it might be a bit difficult to get back into that swing.
It could be difficult, and it definitely feels bad when you lose that way. But on the bright side, when you do the VOD review and you're like, wow, we actually could have 2-0'd this series, you can also get something of confidence out of that. And the fact that they understand right now that, okay, just because we lost the second map and things look bad and we're not used to losing, doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing our jobs and we shouldn't be calm. And now that they've realized that and they're self-aware, this is going to be a good sign for them. And I think they're gonna make a run right now. I think they're definitely a dark horse. I'm supporting them all the way. I want to see them get to the finals. Team SMG finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to think of it from this perspective in the sense of that, like, a lot of those players are big fans of G2. Like, they've looked up to players like Mimi and Petra for years. I remember being in that situation too, where I was playing against Potter, and like even taking rounds against a top team, it makes you feel good about yourself in a sense of like, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah, it's a learning curve for sure. And speaking of, let's send this over to Mika Fabs, who's standing by with Team SMG's Alexi.
Alexi, come to Tita Mika for a second. Okay. So, unfortunately, the year-long streak was broken. How does the team feel about that?
To be honest, we don't care about our win streak because it's just a numbers. But you can expect us to be more comfortable this time, and we learn a lot from our mistakes.
Sounds good. You also give great Warcraft. Can you give us a sample right now?
Estúpido!
Oh, I love her so much. And I mean, we've sat in the crowd already. We know just how loud Alexi is and how much energy she brings. But I do want to pick on the fact that she said, we don't care, it's just numbers, but it is a learning curve. And I think that is going to be very important for a player like Aneri. She went 8-18 in opening draws against G2, which is extremely uncharacteristic. But we got to think about the fact Petra was on the other side, and there's no better person, Heather, you can learn something from than Petra.
Yeah, Petra definitely had her number, especially on split. But again, like we said, that's one of the best players that have ever competed in these events for women. So it's a big opportunity for Aneri to learn and say, you know what can I do to counter this player? Because almost in a sense, you know, it wasn't necessarily luck. Like, Petra's really good, and how do I now counter that?
Yeah, and the veteran experience just showed, especially on that map 3. You know, when things go the distance, these seasoned players, these veteran players that have won championships before, this is something they're comfortable with. They know how to keep it calm. They know how to bounce back from a loss. And you saw that clearly here. She just dominated. I think she had like 25-something kills on this map, just completely out-diffing Aneri there. And you know what? It is a learning experience, learning curve, and I'm sure Aneri is going to play better the second time around if they get the rematch.
I mean, this is the thing, that it shows that Aneri can even be better than she already is, and you have to, you know, lose sometimes against players like Petra to learn that about yourself.
Yeah, 100%. This was definitely one of her like weakest series I think she's had for the whole year. But it's what a better way to do it than on LAN. And now you've seen what happened to you, and you can emulate that against other teams. And it's something that's going to be good for her, because she was running into a wall, it seemed like, getting out first blooded all the time and stuff like that. And when that happens in the moment, it's kind of hard to see what's wrong, see what's going on when something's just not working. But I'm sure they looked at the VODs and they're going to know, okay, maybe we should approach things a little bit differently next time around.
Yeah, we love a redemption story. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. But also from the perspective of Petra, she tweeted a little bit about this and just how much she respects Team SMG as well. Here saying, love you girls, you're humble and great individuals. You don't get many kind of interactions like this, you know, in a competitive environment.
No, definitely not, and not from G2 either. You know, they always like to kind of tease their opponents and remind them what they said pre-game about how confident the other team was and kind of shut them down. So this is a bit rare to get, but it's also must feel good for SMG to get that acknowledgement.
Yeah, but something that we pointed out earlier when we saw this tweet was, yeah, she said that they're humble and they're great individuals, but she didn't say that they were good, you know? So I feel like there's a little bit of, you know, EU toxicity in that tweet, even though it seems like it's very, very nice.
As a member of EU, I will say that Team SMG are great.
Okay.
I love you girls. I love you girls. But of course, Ineri, she might have struggled for that one series, but I think that the shining, unexpected spotlight of this tournament, Sapphire, has been Alexi. How good is she?
She has been freaking fantastic. This player has been so consistent. There's been so many incredible highlight moments. I think one of my favorite things is I was just chilling watching this game as a fan, and I was actually tuning into Tarek's stream, listening to him to go wild for this player, and I know she was happy too because she was in the thumbnails of his videos. Like, that's such a special moment for her. She has some like clips that she'll remember for a lifetime.
And those war cries, man, you know that it gets the whole team hyped. It's the perfect LAN player. That's what you want out of a player. You want them to be hype on LAN. You need that person that brings the energy and that makes those plays and steps up when we thought that Ineri was going to be the MVP of this roster.
Yeah, I still feel like any of them could still be the MVP. We've seen so many great moments from them. But one thing I kind of want to discuss is, you know, Team SMG. I've seen a little bit of what does SMG stand for? I thought I knew. I thought I really knew what it meant. But Baby Bay, I believe you've cracked the code.
I have, and I've realized that through their gameplay as well. It's Team Schmeeg. I mean, what else would it be? You know what I mean? Like, they run it down consistently. Look at this. That's perfect. It's exactly like I'm definitely the mascot of their team, and they play the exact same way that I like to play the game. It's very aggressive. They're in your face. Even on defense, they're going for these first bloods. They're touching your spawn on attack. It's just insane, and I love watching this, and it's such a confident and tough play style to play against when it's working. You know, obviously they hit a brick wall in G2, but when you look back and see, okay, maybe these are the certain boundaries where we should stop being aggressive, maybe they would have won the third map or even closed it out on the second map. But yeah, it's the plays like this, just getting aggro, jump peeking somebody on your defense side. Like, these are plays that you normally are expecting the attackers to do, but they're bringing the fight to the people on attack, and it's just great to see. And they got a lot of first bloods doing this.
I mean, you're very used to like solo schmeeging, you know, you kind of invented this. This is your thing. Have you ever seen a 5-player schmeeg?
The only other team I've seen that can play at this level at an international event against the best is PRX. And we saw the tweet from Jig. He was like, oh, I thought we were crazy. Look at them, you know? So that just goes to show how fully developed into the schmeeg they are, you know?
I mean, if there's anything that's going to stop the schmeeging playstyle, I feel like is a decent Sentinel player. And Sapphire, what do we know? Romy on the other side, KRU, they're going to be going up against SMG. You reckon they've got what it takes to stop the art of SMG?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we're going to look at a play here, actually, with Romy had some really, really interesting Cypher moments here. So we'll look at this setup when they played against EDG. And if you want to look at the mini-map here, obviously they're taking a main control here, so going for a lot of information. But Romy here, there's some really aggressive utility, and it's trips and cameras that we don't necessarily see too often here. So what we're going to see is as soon as this aggressive camera gets some information, Michaela's going to start to fall back, but it's really the execution on the site here is what's going to be really interesting. These trips, I think we've had a lot of people comment that we've never seen these before. It was essentially like a spider web, and look how much she's catching, and of course it's just really unique plays out of her, and that's what you need from this veteran leader, keeping like a unique style, very unpredictable, which has helped to shut down those really strong raises that we're seeing on the enemy teams.
Yeah, I mean, the spider web setup against the double duelist comp, and knowing that the Raze also has ult as well, you know, she's one step ahead.
And it caught that Jet the entire time. The Jet had no idea what was going on. You saw her dash in, all of a sudden she's teleporting back to the ground. Now she's stunned because of the trip. And the cool thing about Cypher now is those new trips, they don't break unless you shoot them. So like they could just keep getting the refresh, keep getting the refresh. But to have that mindset of being like, hey, like they have these ults and we should put a trip for it, that's the next level. You know what I mean? That's another layer to the gameplay of KRU.
Of course, KRU, they seem to be ready to go up against a team like SMG today. So let's send this back to Mika Fab, who's catching up with KRU's Kalita.
Hey Kalita, could you come over here a second? Just really wanted to know, how does the team plan on dealing with the aggression of Team SMG? And we have Jesus over here on standby for some translation.
Ok, estamos acostumbradas a entrenar contra equipos brasileros. Si hay algo que destaca la escena de Brasil es la agresividad que tiene en cuanto al juego. Entonces, si ellas son agresivas, nosotras vamos a hacer el triple.
Okay, she said that they always practice against Brazilian teams, and the scene in Brazil is really aggressive. So if SMG is going to be aggressive, they're going to be tripled aggressiveness.
Excited to see it. Good luck to the team.
Okay, if SMG is Team Shmeeg, what's KRU going to be if they're going to triple Shmeeg?
I don't know, the evolved transcended Shmeeg of all time, I guess. Which is so uncharacteristic because we saw that they like to play a really slow attack default. So I wonder if this is going to kind of like come to bite them in the butt.
Yeah, but also, while SMG, you know, they're playing off the back of a tough loss, they nearly beat G2. Sapphire, KRU, they picked up their first ever international win. They kind of broke the curse of last year.
I think that's there was a big weight on this team's shoulders. Obviously, coming into the championship last year, there was a lot of hype around them, and they went 0-2. So for them to pick up that big win, a big weight off their shoulders, and they're going to feeling much better going into this next series.
That's what teams need sometimes, right? Just a really important win, get yourselves on the board and build some momentum. And speaking of momentum, we've seen KRU on 2 different occasions against 2 different opponents, winning their pistol, winning the second round, and then winning the bonus as well, which, you know, baby babe, when you do things like that, you're going to make your life pretty easy, which is also a bit weird that they lost one of the maps that they did that on, and they nearly lost another one, but it's still a very solid win condition.
Yeah, the fact that they're winning those rounds is like, it just sets you up for greatness. It sets you up for success to win the entire map, and they just need to look at their VODs, which I'm sure they already have, and they'll be like, okay, we already have the first like 4 rounds in the game. What can we do? Maybe some cheese strats to like just continue putting on more round wins and close out these maps, because they should win, you know, some of these maps that we're talking about. I will say one thing, like, I feel like they dominated that first map against EDG, but they kind of let off the gas against EDG on Ascent, and that's something that worries me going into the series.
Yeah, they were getting a little too comfortable there, and we saw a lot of those mistakes in the later rounds. All of those are fixable. I actually even saw them at breakfast, like literally huddled around the laptop. Like, they're grinding away, looking at those little tweaks they need to fix to finish up.
Yeah, but also they have the highest win rate when it comes to thrifties out of any of the teams coming into this tournament. And yes, we saw some of those as well, and they did come at crucial times, you know, times where they need to just get around on the board.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when nothing's working for you and you pull out the deagles and you just hit the head, it's great. And it's so annoying being on the opposition side of that. Getting ecoed is not a good feeling. You're like, wow, like how, like I had the better gun, I had all the advantages, I had the better util. Like, how am I losing this round? And yeah, the rounds like that are swing rounds. It changes the momentum of a game. So it's hard playing against teams that have a high eco rate.
Yeah, and that's really what we said. They let off the gas of it. Winning those thrifties is going to keep that momentum going, keep that energy going.
Do you think they can do that by changing the playstyle? I mean, they were saying we're going to go 3 times more aggressive than SMG.
Yeah, it's an interesting change at this point, but like you do want to find something to counter, because SMG, like we saw yesterday against G2, like they were always really aggressive, especially on defense and looking for those flanks. So I think they want to kind of hit them head on.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, and I'm not gonna lie. When you are running it down, doing the Shmeeg playstyle, and all of a sudden you're getting ran at, you're like, oh wait, what's going on here? Now, like, I'm getting shot back right now, and I'm not just in their spawn in the first 2 seconds. I think it's a very viable strategy. It could work. I'm just worried about their attack sides. I think that KRU's success has been playing these slow defaults, punishing the enemy team, and then grouping up and hitting sites together, playing a good post plant. So I'm kind of worried about the attack, but we'll see in the game.
I feel like this game is made for you. If we're going to have 10 people schmeeking at the same time.
If there's 10 people running it down, I'm going to be surprised, like, honestly. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, but of course, this is going to be our first match of the day. We do have a match a bit later on that will determine who goes into the grand final. So it's time to reveal the results of the MasterCard fan poll. And what a surprise. You guys voted for Shopify,
a lot closer than I thought it would be. I'm not going to lie.
Honestly, yeah. I think what we've seen so far, like Shopify again has dropped max 4 rounds, whereas G2 had some close series and lost the map. So by that point, I'm surprised it's closer.
How are you guys feeling? What are you predicting?
I'm predicting like a 90% Shopify win.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe 99.9.
I hate, not hate, but I said the other day, like, how do you ever doubt G2, Mimi, and Petra? But at this point, Shopify is just looking way too good to doubt them that they win this or not lose this match.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a very, very important game to win. But do you know what? There's an even more important game right now, which is, of course, the VCT Game Changers Bingo. You've won something already today, Dre, so you're on a high. We're going to basically try and pick a row off of this bingo card and try and get bingo. And if any of these happen today, we're going to keep you guys updated. Play along with us as well and see who can win the VALORANT Game Changers Championship Bingo. I'll start, I will pick a row. We can do columns and rows. Heather's gonna map it out for us so you guys can follow up as well. I'm probably gonna avoid the row that has any ISO stuff going on because I honestly, yeah, I think that's gonna be kind of troll for today. So with that said, I will go for the second row, please. The pop-off. Right. I mean, we've got SMG playing 3+ Duelist comp. We've seen it before. Hey, we might see it again. We've got KRU playing highest Thrifty win rate in the entire tournament. Thrifty, I think I've got that. Tech pause. It is what it is. Water spill. Yeah, and pop-off I feel like could just be anything. Pop-off could be like a cheeky little clutch. So yeah, I will go for that one. What about you, Dre?
That's fair. I'm going to go for 30 kills because Flora is playing again today. And Flora has been dominant, but I think she'll actually be able to get 30 kills now because I think G2 will win a little bit more rounds, so it's more room to get more kills, right? Water spill is going to happen when EU gets 2-0'd.
Whoa! Whoa!
And the defuse, I think it's wrong on here, but I do think there will be a defuse within a second. And shorty kill for sure. I think we'll see tons of shorty kills, especially on the operas, the jet roll, blah blah blah. Jet knives ace. Ooh. Could go hand in hand with the water spill and Floor
so
dropping bombs.
Do 3 of them?
The last round for the 2-0. Wow. It might all happen at once. Nah, wow. That's definitely a hot take. But I think I could see all this happening. And honestly, even Michaela almost had an ace, yesterday. So she got a 4K. Maybe she wants to get to 5 today. So I think it could work.
Shopify, they've been breaking records. So maybe the triple is coming to you.
The triple would be crazy.
Yeah.
The triple would be crazy.
Heather, you got a few more rows left.
Yeah, no, I think I have my answer here. So we're going to go with the bottom row. 5+ desk plushies. We saw some tape with SMG. They've got that covered. We've seen some 1v3 clutches. That will happen. We'll talk about the other one in a second. Jet Knives Ace, Fluorescent has that for me. Walkout Hearts happen all the time. The Euro pick is my long shot here. But I believe in maybe SMG. I believe in, Floor has done that too. Floor has done that. Unbind, maybe she'll surprise. So I'm going to do, we'll do an S for Sapphire here.
I love how Floor is just carrying us. We're just sitting here waiting like, Floor, please. Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the realm, I feel like. If there's anybody that's going to help us out is here. Of course, you guys, we're going to bring this up every time we manage to get one. And I guess we need all 5 for a bingo. Yeah? We got to do the whole row. We got to do the whole row, which could be possible. I don't see why not. But let's quickly bring back to this KRU SMG game. Like I said, the stakes, to remind you guys, it's elimination. If they lose today, they are completely out. Do you think either side could be an upset, or is it more evenly matched in this elimination match?
I think I'm leaning towards SMG just because they're sticking to their own game plan. They're working on their mistakes. They're going to keep it calm in the series. And KRU is basically saying they're going to change their playstyle. Now, that could just be mind games. They might not be doing that, you know what I mean? But I'm still leaning towards SMG. I think that they looked so good against G2, who honestly has been looking like the second best team in the entire tournament.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think SMG has the slight edge here. We've just seen a little more firepower out of those teams, and for them to be able to challenge the reigning world champions, I think they're looking good, whereas KRU, again, kind of they're very happy to obviously win their first international match, and I hope they don't feel too satisfied yet, but SMG has a bit of an edge here.
Yeah, I mean, the lower bracket run is going to be tough no matter what as well. This is going to be the end for the journey for one of our teams, but not for another. And what's left to say but to find out what's going to happen, because only 6 teams remain in this competition. And after today, after the 2 elimination matches, we're going to be down to just 4. So without further ado, day 4 of the Game Changers Championship 2023 starts right now.
The biggest takeaway is to just be calm even when you're losing, and just trust all of your teammates and everything will be fine.
Yo creo que las palabras que definen a mi equipo es la resiliencia y la voluntad de cada uno. No voy a dejar que KRU caiga porque yo voy a estar ahí para apoyar a mi equipo.
We really are like a family because we do everything together. KRU, I hope you guys play your best so that you give us a good match.
Porque sé de lo que está hecho mi equipo, sé que tiene mucho más para demostrar y cada una quiere luchar por eso. SMG, good luck.
We had so many struggles. The whole year was pretty hard for me. My team, they always supported me, never let me go down. This is another challenge for us.
Eu tô muito confiante, tô muito feliz. Eu acho que a gente tá conseguindo mostrar pouco a pouco pro que a gente realmente veio.
I think all we need to do is play our own game and play together because we couldn't play as a team against Shopify.
Eu não acho que a gente tem dificuldade contra o time do EMEA ou da Europa. Elas têm muita mira, mas a gente tem mais.
I'm confident to take on Team Liquid. I think we're better and it's gonna be easier.
BBL, eu espero que vocês deem o melhor de vocês, porque a gente vai dar o nosso.
I think that our team is much more prepared. Honestly, I don't think this is even 100% of our power.
I am afraid for who Shopify played next.
If you look at all the predictions, we are the underdogs once again. It feels like we're gonna repeat last year.
My team, bar for bar, every player just owns everybody, and so it's kind of hard to beat that.
Don't be cocky this time. We're not gonna let you mess with us.
Okay, so we're starting map selection process for SMG versus KRU. This is a match for round 2 lower bracket. SMG has the higher seed, so starts choosing if wants to be Team A or Team B.
We pick Team A.
Team A, okay, so KRU, Team B, SMG, Team A. SMG starts banning a map.
We will ban Breeze.
Breeze banned, a ban for KRU.
Ban Haven.
Haven. First map pick for SMG.
We'll pick Lotus.
Lotus. Side on Lotus for KRU.
Attack.
Attack. Map pick for KRU.
Pick Bind.
Bind. Side on Bind for SMG.
Defense.
Defense. Second sets of bans starts with SMG bans one map, Ascent, Sunset or Split.
Ban Sunset.
Sunset, okay. Last ban for KRU, we have Ascent or Split. ban, ascent, or split?
Ban split.
Ban split. Okay, so we have ascent as decider, side on ascent for SMG.
Defense.
Ascent, defense. That's it. Good luck, have fun.
Both teams have had their ups and downs this entire year, and they do not want their journeys to end here. They've overcome a lot of challenges already in this tournament, but this is elimination. We're talking about only one could survive. Sapphire, KRU, they've avoided elimination already. They have been here, they have been resilient, but for Team SMG, they just lost, so they got to dig a little bit deeper.
They do have to dig deeper, but they lost against the reigning world champions, so they still kept it really close. They've got to at least feeling good about themselves to know that they have it in them to win this match.
And one thing I gotta ask off the bat, baby, they picked Lotus!
Yeah. Are we gonna see some crazy 4-duelist shenanigans? I actually don't think that's gonna be the case this time, but that leaves question marks for KRU. What comp are they gonna play? Because even without the 4-duelist comp, SMG has played a double duelist comp with Arena on that map before. They've played a standard comp with a Fade before, like double controller. So what are they going to bring out? And it's my understanding that KRU just plays a standard comp on this map.
Yeah, at the very least, it forces KRU to have to prepare for all these extra scenarios. They're probably not going to do the 4 duelists again, but it forces you to say, shoot, you know, I'm going to have to plan for all of these scenarios. And we do know, as you said, SMG mixes it up a lot on this map.
Honestly, I can't believe you guys are saying that, because I want the 4 duelists.
I mean, I want it.
Honestly, not just for my bingo, I promise. It's not just for that. But they've managed to win it on the 4 duelists, and I like the point that you made there, Sapphire, because if you are KRU and you're looking at that, even if you don't believe that could happen, you got to still think about the possibility. You got to still maybe try and prep a little bit before you go in there, because we did see what happens when you don't know how to play against that comp.
Yeah, it was obviously a disaster for EG. The players admitted that, like, we were nervous, we didn't know how to prep for this. So it does now mean that KRU had to spend all this extra time and the little time you have after just playing last night to prepare for all these scenarios.
Yeah, and poor EG, right? Like, this is your first match on the LAN, and you have to play against a 4 duelist comp, and they're just doming you every chance they get. It was a brutal watch, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I would like to see a double duelist out of them. I think they thrive off of playing a lot of duelist characters, and they have the individual skill to just bully teams.
And then, as we saw in the second map, for KRU to pick Bind, that's also kind of a bold choice, knowing that SMG kind of smashed G2 on it. So it's a bold choice, but KRU, as Khalid said, they're going to play their own game.
Yeah, and of course, all the way through the map vetoes as well, I believe KRU will be starting on the attacking side of every single map. Let's have a look here at the Prime Gaming agent select. We won't get the 4 duelists.
Almost a mirror.
Yeah,
so you have like the more EU approach coming from SMG with the Fade here. And on the other side of KRU, you have like just the stable Sky. And both these comps are good. They're both played very similarly. Just look out for more, you know, Fade alt plays. That's really good to bait out rotations and not let people know where you're going. Maybe you pair it with an Omen ult behind them, behind the enemy team when you ult, and then out of the Sky, just consistent information and pop flash plays that you can do.
Yeah, and as Khalida said, like, they're going to be pretty aggressive, so you can see a lot of that with that Sky Rays combo.
Well, no 4 duelists this time, but we're going to run it back with your casters, though. Let's get things started and send it over to Doug and Athena. What do you make of this?
Thank you so much, Insu. I'm really freaking excited. Athena, yeah, we don't have the quadruple duelist comp, but I think going back to what's more standard with elimination on the line is anything you could possibly ask for.
Yeah, I mean, when I see this comp, I'm like, dang, I really wanted that duelist comp. But yeah, I mean, something really interesting. They don't have any flashes on the SMG side. They do have that paranoia, on Omen. So entering for an area is going to be really interesting. There's going to have to be a lot more util to be able to clear that site and get that space open for her. But again, SMG versus KRU. We're on that SMG train this week so far.
Kahibi's already pushing off of her turret, and she's going to find 3 kills? I mean, that was snappy. That was decisive. And yes, Shirazi was there, but a massive start for the defensive side.
Who had the pistol ace on their bingo card?
Yeah, was that one of the boxes? Was that one of the boxes?
One enemy
might
remaining.
Play out. It's stolen. Either way, an excellent start for SMG. It's interesting too. That hurt a little bit. I really like how they played that though, because I mean, given the turret was set up right off the door, you had Shirazi who was peeking above it, and then Kahibi went a little bit wider back behind Mound. You're in a pistol round in particular. You're fighting three different people in that instant.
Yeah, I mean, SMG already starting off strong. They're setting up crossfires, setting up trap plays. They're dodging that sky flash and ready to peek off of each other. This is the kind of team play that SMG has been showing us all tournament long. And I think KRU needs to really warm up and get used to this, because I don't think we're not going to see more of that. We're going to see so much of that coming out from SMG.
It's the same look. The turret, the one way, but there's more gun behind it.
Goodness.
And it seems like it's going to be a bit of the same result. They're pushing aggressively towards C. They're pushing aggressively on A main as well. This is very decisive. And the thing is, SMG are doing such a good job of funneling and fighting on the extremities, knowing that there's the only other place you can really go is B, and that's where the Killjoy setup is.
Yeah, such a good extremities push. I mean, they knew that they were on those pistol buys, and SMG was not scared, so they're going to come back to this B main retake. They're aware that these two players have taken space because they've cleared everything from that B main entrance. And now Shirazi getting her third, and Inari's facing Kunir, but Shirazi actually spamming through the smoke for the 4th. What a great round overall. SMG just showing that they're going to set the pace for this game already, Doug. They're like, we are not scared. We're going to keep fighting and doing these trap plays and hope that you guys just run into them.
Well, honestly, we almost have to go back a little bit further, because you and I were talking about it prior to the show coming to us. It felt like SMG won like during the vetoes.
Yeah.
Right? It's very clear, at least to me, given how the maps played out, that they want to do this very aggressively. They're going to do this with confidence, and you're seeing that play out in the first couple of rounds as well.
Yeah, picking Team A is definitely a Giga Chad move, and I think SMG showed that. And I think they got the sides that they all wanted, and now KRU coming back to the C. I want to see if they can adapt their strat. They are just going to farm orbs on Raze, and they're going to know that they're not playing that aggressive C setup, but they're actually playing aggressive towards A. The roaming lurk was way too much.
A tap of the door to threat a push B, but KRU are kind of left wondering where they go with this. They've lost the roamer that was A, as you mentioned. The only real option is to go C here. Wisely for SMG, they take a small step back, give some of that space up, knowing that they can fight with numbers as the round goes on. Oh, Michaela's getting really aggressive here. It doesn't catch anything. Are you expecting his position up in the ledge? The first falls, the second does too. Yeah, Kinnear was able to get one, but that's all it was. An upgrade of the weapon as Shirazi continues to farm. 4 on the round.
That's the second 4K in a row for Shirazi, just coming out with a bang. I mean, KRU had such a good reaction. They managed to take that C. They knew as soon as they lost their Viper towards A that the lurk was not possible. They had no more map space. They had to funnel into C, and SMG just knew that that's exactly what they're going to do. Such a good round from SMG. Again, they convert that bonus round to themselves, and KRU on another save. The Viper ult on Shirazi. I don't think she's going to use it this round, but just a standard A fight setup. We're going to see the same aggression from that A main for SMG.
Yeah, I mean, a freaking ridiculous start. And it's been quiet for Kamiya. She hasn't really had to do anything. Her teammates have been farming everything else, but it seems like there's going to be action here finally. KRU understanding they're going to have to fight into some of this aggression, and KRU lights up the kill feed. She's on the board, 3 kills on the round, and this has the potential, Athena, of getting out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, KRU so obviously not ready for this aggressive SMG that we're seeing, and this is the SMG that we saw on the first day that we really, really liked. And now, a 4-0 lead for SMG. I mean, KRU really needs to bring this back. That was such a bloodbath. Look at the amount of util used from both of these teams. The paranoia, KRU just getting the spray downs down. And again, just further converting that round by pushing and showing dominance. 4-0, Doug. That is tough.
Yeah, this is a brutal start. They're going to have an opportunity to punch back here. Now they have weapons, they have armor, all the things that you need to stop some of this bleeding early on and cauterize the wounds that have been left by this aggressive full schmeeg. Baby Bay's grinning from ear to ear on the desk right now with how well they've played this. I mean, it's been decisive, it's been aggressive, it's been in their faces, and KRU haven't known what to do with it.
Yeah, and SMG showing their aggression on the A main with just the util, but actually stacking 3 players towards that C. And KRU has no idea, but KRU maybe is actually finding the hole in their defenses by grouping up towards that B main and getting that space.
Yeah, I don't know that this is really all that much gathered, though, to be honest. I think if you end up B, you've lost extremities on both sides, and that's what SMG have been doing, right? Very similar to the pistol. B is a tough way to go, but they're going to try to tap the door and take the fight towards C, towards Mound. The spike is out of reach, though. They don't have the spike. They've lost the spike. It's back in spawn. There's nobody there. Showstopper used, and Eri trying to drop another. Succeeds in doing so. Michaela no longer around. Khalida and Rami, the only 2 left. A massive blunder for the attacking side. Maybe they can stabilize this. Maybe they can equalize and win a 2v4, but
30 seconds left.
What a mess.
That was so messy. It looked really good for a second, like they were about to break SMG setup by crunching through that door. But again, the firepower, Khalida and Romy bringing the round back. That is not what I expected at all.
This was a 2v4. 13 seconds left. Surely KRU just plays it back, right? I don't know there's enough time for you to run, grab the spike, and then plant. She's just got to stay alive. Oh, she takes the fight. That was bold. That was gutsy. That was risky. She takes them both and gets a Red Bull clutch.
She does not need to run. I'm sorry, KRU. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, forget it. You take the fights. Yeah, take it.
Fine.
All you.
All good.
That round, the roller coaster of emotions that we just went through was mad.
That was actually crazy. I mean, the C crunch looked so good for a second, and then it looked so bad, and then it looked so good again. I mean, Aneri popping that raise rocket to solidify a kill, and then KRU with this beautiful double kill. Again, showing their confidence, and this team is literally the embodiment of confidence that we've been seeing. Like, this is the SMG that we saw in that with the 4 duelist comp.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. They're playing the exact same way,
they really are.
but with the meta comp.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's really changed is the agents. Their approach to the game has been the same. Where they're applying pressure, when they're applying pressure, the fact that they're so hell-bent on fighting up on the defensive side just continues to be a part of the DNA. This is a very impressive start, and I think the timeout right now makes sense for KRU. Yeah, it's early, but you've seen a couple of very large blunders. Yeah. You've seen how SMG want to play this. This one makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like grouping up at this point for KRU is going to be super important for them, because what are they going to do when both extremities have been pushed? Grouping up B is a good idea, but they have to push all the way through. They have to start setting up for these splits, setting up for these crunches. They need to start breaking that baby door. A-Link, sorry, I know people don't call it that. Baby door. They need to push into that heaven on B. They need to push C-Link. They need to get this space and take that away from them. And hopefully that's what they're going to start trying to poke and prod towards, because SMG actually, they switched up their setup.
Yeah, there's no heavy aggression towards the extremities right now. They've left C entirely open just to Killjoy util. But they want to lane B, which makes sense given how KRU have tried circumventing the defensive aggression. We're in for a bit of a stalemate.
Both teams just chilling, holding, trying to see where the aggression is at. SMG actually doing a really good job of not overusing utility and telling them where their setup is, just so that they can set up for this B trap. This is such a good bait. Off contact, the paranoia comes in. But the first kill going to Khalida means this trap is absolutely demolished already.
Yeah, you can tell what the idea was, for sure, but it just doesn't really come to fruition. KRU gets destroyed. And KRU finally, at least early, having some progress. That nade is going to hurt. Oh, there's a seed set up too. And Airy getting one. Alexi with the spam on the other.
One enemy.
Yeah, you found some success in some breathing room B. Sure, you get past the first trap, but with SMG, there's a second. There's a third. There are layers to how they're playing this out.
30 seconds left.
That was so... I thought that the early round was so good in getting that pick and forcing SMG to do something. But KRU, they have numbers. They need to overuse this utility to make sure that they don't lose numbers retaking back that aiming. They know they could have been aggressive. They didn't have anyone holding it at the beginning. And this trap, SMG so patient, just holding the whole time. I mean, they read them like a book. They knew that they were going to fall off of B and go back into something after seeing the paranoia come out. But again, KRU, you really need to overuse that utility if you want to retake that space. I mean, SMG went all up in that space so far.
Oh, it's only getting worse. Look at an Airy so far up already. It was a setup off of the paranoia from KRU to take that space away, and that's exactly what they've done. Just Sheriffs and then a Bulldog in the hands of Shies. Rami no longer around. And you have a pit on C that you're going to have to deal with too. This has got to feel really suffocating if you're KRU, right? Like mentally, you realize there are no options. There's nowhere that's safe for you to go to.
Yeah, it feels like everywhere you've gone, there has been an absolute shutdown. And the one time that you've got the early round picks, SMG has just decided to retake it back by clutching, by winning their aim battles, and it's just so hard at that point when it's like, mechanically, like, how do we face this, right?
Yeah. Well, they're going to choose to fight into the pit. Fortunately for them, it is just Shirazi who's here now, but she does have a gun, and there's no one else on the side of KRU, with the exception of Shies, who has that benefit, who has that luxury. They've gone through door, they're going to end B. You're going to get flanked. You've got KRU in front of you. You've got an Airy behind you. And that's another round for SMG.
Oh my goodness, this whole map is just being overrun by SMG. They're going to As KRU, what do you do in this scenario? I think that you need to speed up the pace in your own way. Like, you need to look at these ults. We have a Raze out. We have so much. Like,
whoa.
KRU needs to use that util in order to retake the space or to push them off. They're letting them take the space with all the util, but if SMG is just walking up for free now at this point, that can't be happening. Like, yes, they're setting up traps, but they're also walking up, just taking the space away from KRU, because KRU's just sitting back the whole time, like letting them take it.
So oftentimes, conversations around timeouts really just allow us to talk about what's gone on in the last little bit, what sort of adjustments need to be made. This is very surprising because KRU have burned both of their timeouts in the first half. We're just 7 rounds into this, Athena, and they have no comms with their coach, barring a timeout from SMG the rest of the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if this is the mental break that they need as well, because 7-0 is so tough. Like, it's really tough. It's doable. It's definitely doable, but KRU just need to understand and hope that they see where the weaknesses are, and they see that together that they can do something. It's so important at this point that they do not break mentally, because the second that they break, it's only going to allow SMG to snowball. The game is not over. 7-0, it's not over. So KRU needs to figure it out and work together and make sure that they have that mental stability to just keep going.
It's a gutsy call, and maybe off of the 4 ults that you were mentioning prior to the timeout. Just want to make sure that that's well executed. There's a good plan in place to make sure you find value off of those. Right now, KRU haven't really found any of that.
Yeah. Looking like KRU starting towards that C. They're still walking up. Romy kind of holding that A main, seeing if there's any aggression, but just throwing her orb and leaving. The group towards C now. Looks like it should be good. Hypothetically, they have so many ults to make this happen. If they just get the site, they have the Viper Pit to go down, and now they're finally using their util to clear everything. Maybe farming an orb on Kalita, but no, the dogs is coming in, and it's looking like they're going to try to hit this C-push.
Keep a close eye. You know, we've talked a lot about the ults on the side of KRU. SMG has a couple they can play with as well. KRU did use the ult to get over towards C. I thought there might be something with the Nightfall, but KRU deciding to go forward, double satcheling in with the Showstopper in hand, looking for a target, and we'll find it onto KRU. Oh, they've invested the pit. They've lost their duelist, but they have gained some space. And with 47 seconds left in the round, they have a couple of options. They drop the Paranoia. They drop an ult of their own. The Roomba's going to tag Rami. Surely you know that she's there. Finally falling. Now Aneri trying to dance around a 2v2. The spike did manage to go down. And Kunir tried to swing out and try to take the fight, but it's now Shai's just alone. And it looks like both mollies have been cleared. I don't know if there's anything really stop this. It's not planted for her. She's going to have to swing out to take the fight, and she can't.
Oh my goodness. That was looking so good again for KRU. They got the Viper pit down, but they just had to play together inside. They had to play those crossfires. It was so hard because obviously they had the fade out to retaliate with that Viper pit. They had the dog to find where the Viper was. I mean, for a second, she wasn't even scanned by that Roomba, but I mean, there's not much she could have done. She got one, she died, the rest of the pit came down, and the rest of the team just dropped like flies. So rough.
Yeah, and again, it just feels like another mistake. Even the position of where it was planted. We talked about this a couple of days ago. It was with SMG and EG, if I'm not mistaken, where you see those little blunders like that in the face of all that chaos. Those things go awry. A little bit faster pace here from KRU towards C, or at least threatening that that's what's gone on. But once again, Athena, look at how far up the defensive side is for SMG. They haven't just fought for a main control, they've taken it.
Yeah, just letting them walk up really is not the play here. They have the fast flank, they have the fast info, and off of that, they're...
Spike down, C. Last player standing. Thirty seconds left.
Spike.
Satchel out. Bomb buddy out. Toxin screen down. Bomb grenade, 30 seconds left. There. Nice. Last player standing. Last player standing.
Apologies, everyone. We're experiencing some technical difficulties, but do you know what that means? That means Baby Bay and Sapphire, you get to step in and have a little chat and cast over Team Schmeeg. This is your dream come true.
Let's
of course,
get it.
I've always wanted to cast. Let's go.
Let's go, guys. And it's just been a dominant half. Oh, we're good. We're good.
Oh, it's good while it lasted.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. We missed you guys. Athena kicked a cable or a cord back here behind the desk.
No. We got Fade ulted.
Nah, we're blaming this one on you.
Oh, okay.
She kicked a cord. This is what I mean. This is why we can't have nice things.
The one time I cast.
It doesn't seem like much was missed because SMG is still stomping KRU. And while we didn't get to see the last couple of rounds, I have a hunch that it was a lot of the same.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Anaria already dropping. We're in a 5v4. This is best case scenario for KRU. Not a single player on site to hold them off, but the flood is already coming, and we know SMG with these fast floods and how strong they are.
Alexi does have the ult to work with. How fast and how decisive are they going to be on this? Kunir's threatened. She's tapped, and there it is. Now the Nightfall will ensue. You have a little bit of cover from Rami, but it's just Kunir left on site. That's going to be a lot to hold on her own. Rami playing over there. Kunir getting the first, not able to get the second, but there she was. Almost had the shot, but Kahibi lands 3, and that's another round for SMG.
Oh my goodness. If you are KRU right now, you have a huge mental obstacle to get past because this is crazy. 11-0, Doug. Not even a single round on the board. They need this last round in halftime so that they can at least feel that they're coming back into the game because, man, 11-0 is so rough.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah.
I don't think they're thinking about getting back in this game. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You saw? Did you just see the eye roll in that man's face? He's done. They're thinking bye.
No, hear me out. This is a warm-up scrim.
It's
a warm-up scrim. You know, like KRU's just warming up.
Yeah.
They're getting their comms ready. You know, so far, I was gonna say no technical difficulties. Technical. But I just cursed it, so.
Right, yeah, none. I will say this. For SMG, 4 duelists, 1 duelist, 2 duelists, whatever. It really seems like Lotus is their playground. They're very confident in what they want to do, and they're executing it beautifully.
Yeah, KRU finally getting some form of space on that B site. Popping the ult in area, and she gets immediately shut down by Shies. They're fully aware of these flanks now. This is a different KRU in this round.
Trying to avoid the 013 club. The pit aggressive, and it's going to push them upside. They haven't cleared heaven, though. And you do have Michaela who's playing up there. She's going to drop Alexi. Pit's still in play, though. As Kami taking some damage and trying to find some room to work with and push out, but KRU doing such a good job of playing off site, of forcing SMG to come their way if they want to try to establish some control and get the defuse. Michaela on the spam. Shirazi's, oh, she didn't even get half. Kahibi has so much to do here, not a ton of time to do it. KRU get theirs. They got theirs.
They got theirs, and now you said they're not thinking about coming back. I think they're thinking about coming back. The comeback is real. Don't look at me like that.
You don't believe that. Stop.
Listen, I am a huge SMG fan, but KRU, they can do it.
Maybe. We'll see what the desk thinks. Yinsu, take it away.
Thank you very much, Doug and Athena. 11-1. That is a dream start. Oh, it's always Lotus, it feels like. But the thing is, the Sapphire SMG, not only were they good in the aim mechanics department, they had some crazy good reads and just amazing ideas.
Yeah, of course. I actually wanted to highlight round 6 here. And this is following 5 really, really aggressive rounds. And so they essentially conditioned KRU to play incredibly passive. And we look here, like, look at, I do observing. So I know where people, I stare at the radar a lot. No one sits there ever. They are terrified to make any moves. So they're playing really, really passive because they obviously think there's going to be a push. But instead, they have a trap play set up here. So as you can see, B is all ready to go. We've got the paranoia ready. Kahabi's taking the angle. Kahabi does drop here, but then they try to take a little aggression, they fall back. And so this is KRU's time to then take a move over to A. However, they have not forced that raise nade out. And so you've got to think, okay, they're ready for you. So at this point, essentially there's a trap play set up with the C's and nade, and it was just perfect. You don't really see two trap plays in one round, but perfect execution from SMG.
Absolutely.
Condition the team and then force them to play incredibly passive.
And just showing layers to their game, like just to have two trap plays in a single round is just absurd. And it's all because that paranoia forced the people that were walking up B to be backed up. The Omen smoke comes out to delay the B push even further, and they're already playing retake on C. They already were okay with that from the start of the round. So they're funneling them towards A or C where they're playing retake, and it just runs straight into that trap, and it was just beautiful. What a beautiful round from Team Schmieg. And they are going absolutely nuclear right now. This is almost a 13-0.
Yeah, what? It's not going to be a 13-0. I'm with Myrna here. We've seen an 11-3 comeback in São Paulo before. I believe in the 11-1. I'm going
to just sit here.
11-1 in favor of SMG, the second half of Lotus. Now up for grabs and for KRU. You know, we often talk about mountains that you have to climb and crazy comebacks and digging yourself out of holes. You know, this has to be the biggest hole I think I've ever seen, or the tallest mountain you're going to have to climb to get back into this thing. Again, given what some of the body language look like, Athena, I imagine they're just thinking bind at this point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is SMG's map pick, so at the end of the day, not a huge thing lost because you still have 2 more maps, right? So KRU can come back into it. Next map is bind, they can pick it, but this pistol, I mean, if they win this, it might be something to hold on to, but again, SMG just opting for that full A hit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long road to believing, and it seems like that road is paved with poor intentions if you're SMG, because KRU is just getting rolled over again. They're not able to hold the site. They get overwhelmed by SMG's aggression. That 5-man hit towards A proved to be too much.
Yep, 4v3. This is going to be a hard retake. Yeah. I mean, we still have nades, no smokes, no paranoia. It's going to be a lot of walking up together, but KRU getting the trade on Alexi.
1 enemy remaining.
What? How does that happen? She's going to get both.
Okay.
Of course she's going to get both. I mean, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And when things are going your way, like they are for SMGs, it seems like nothing goes wrong. 2 couple kills there at the end that she never even saw. Yeah. SMG on map point. This will be over very soon.
It looks like nothing is standing in the way between SMG and winning this map. Not even a concrete wall.
Yeah, nothing. I did. That was very nicely done.
But yeah, again, a really great execute from SMG. KRU trying their hardest to hold on to what is left, but dropping, unfortunately. This is looking really rough now. 12-1. Both teams buying, of course, seeing what we have in stock. We have a judge on Inari, which I love to see. So hopefully a super fast hit towards C. Super fast. It is. Inari's on site, but Shai's already with the first kill. Yeah. Absolutely denying that. Lexi immediately trading that out. And now the site is theirs. SMG planning the spike.
What else do they have to work with here? We've seen that Bucky a couple of times. Michaela has it. Just now rotating over to the site. Once again, they've done such a good job, SMG have of playing off. You've got Shirazi, who's really back in spawn at this point, making sure that there's no late flank or anything like that. And there's so much for KRU to get through here if they want to keep this map up, if they want to prolong Lotus. But can they pull it off? Alexi will fall, and it seems like they're converting things, so Ivy's going to have to do this on her own. Feeling some of the pressure, feeling herself getting surrounded. Time is of the essence. Oh my goodness, Khalid is going to get it. That was so close. I thought she was going to do it.
My God, and if anyone could have done it, it is Kohibi. I mean, she's been playing crazy this game, and so far, my gosh. KRU, they're back. They're back. That's going to feel so refreshing to win that round and absolutely shut down SMG's fast take, because at the end of the day, shutting that down means that they're not going to be able to go as fast anymore with as much confidence, ready for these retakes, even though they're man down. And SMG almost closing this round out, but KRU, Khalida, the most stable, the most reliable on the team, showing us why she can clutch it out.
I mean, desperately needed. And now an opportunity for them to put on another, given the gun advantage that they have. SMG with just sheriffs, and a classic for Kamiyu. Certainly not what you're wanting to do here. And You know, honestly, for KRU, the approach does feel a little similar to what SMG was doing to them. Maybe not to the same degree, maybe not to the same extremity, but they have not just fought for A main control, they've taken the space too.
Yep, full A main control, and that's going to be so much information. We have our Killjoy setup on site already, so a lot of delay coming in, but maybe this information should be used a lot faster, KRU, with a rotate over towards that C site. But they're going to get the flash and going to get the info that Viper's there, so it's going to be delayed for a lot longer than they thought.
There.
You've got the nade seize combo, the paranoia. They've done a decent job of drawing rotations. If their intent was to manipulate things, they've done so, but no, it seems like they do want to NC after all. Alexi and Inari pushing forward into the smoke, and you can look at how concerned they are. Look at how far back they're playing. They know that there's something up here. They know that there are antics that are waiting on the other side.
Yep, and those 2 kills, 3 kills going really well for KRU. They were so patient, they knew to wait for the rotates. And this is looking like a lot more confident, a lot more stronger KRU. Shirazi with a nice shot onto Romy, but it's not enough because KRU just showing that they can play this defensive side really, really well. I mean, they had KJ playing on that C site, and she delayed for so long that her team was able to rotate, and she punished them for trying to push into spawn. I mean, that's a best case scenario for when you're playing retake.
For sure, for sure. You really get everything you could possibly ask for. So KRU get on to their third. SMG now with weapons with a massive runway. If they want to close this thing out, they're going to have an abundance of opportunities to do so.
Yep, the fade online for Alexi as well as Kalita with her cabbages. So we'll see what funky strat they're trying to do. It's looking like there's going to be a lot towards A, and this is going to be a war zone because both these teams are trying to fight for the same main control.
That's exactly what they're going to do. You're absolutely right. You see the paranoia out. Try to clear some space. You do have Rami, who's tucked just on the other side of the wall. Nothing really to give the position away. They're going to fight on the other side of it, off of the swing, off of the flash, and Inari's there to greet. 2 kills come through. Nightfall used. It's just Kinnear who's playing, and she's going to get chased down by the Prowler. Has to run away. Tuck tail, give the space back up, and SMG gladly fill him behind it.
Spike planted.
They've gotten it down to a 3v2. We've seen what feels like far too many 2v4s this tournament. This would be another if KRU can somehow pull this off. They have a lot to do. Shies has 5 HP. I can talk about living a borrowed life. There's just nothing here. But they're going to do their damnedest. Kinnear's the first to fall, and of course, it's the most fragile that's left. Shies gets dropped, 13-3, absolute dominance in favor of SMG. Not concerned about the fact that they're facing elimination, not concerned that they only ran 1 duelist. The results are the same.
I mean, the crazy part about SMG is it doesn't matter who is playing what role, who is playing duelist. All of them can play duelist, and Mary can play sentinel. They all performed, and they all did so well.
1-0 lead in favor of SMG. Elimination on the line for KRU. Bind on the other side. We'll see you guys when we come back.
Red Bull gives you wings.